Guys, I'm just doing a quick one, building out some of this soft shading on the helmet on this Samurai. Once I've shaded this dark section up here, I'm going to just use soft tones in this, so this is quite a good one to sort of see those softer tones get layered out. I'm using a 50% wash at the moment. When I was getting these dark sections in, I was using 100% wash and kind of gliding over just with a few passes, and then I can start blending it out. So I'm gliding back and forth. I'm actually not pressing on very firm. I'm letting the needle just sort of ride along the surface of the skin. As long as you're going in at the right angle, the skin's stretched properly, what you'll find is the ink should deliver really efficiently. If you're having a problem getting the ink in the skin, you want to look at like your needle depth. Make sure you're going in at a good angle so the needle can glide into the skin. Turn that off, huh? So what I'm trying to create where I've put my solid black in, trying to create quite a solid edge, and I just want it to blend out really soft up here. So as I'm building it out, I'll be coming down my pots. I'm going to go into a 30% saturated ink in a second. When I am blending, I'm quite often revisiting as well, so as I'm blending out, I'll go back into the bits I've already done and I'll see the shading slowly develop off. You okay, mate?
Yeah.
Good lad. When you're building a tattoo out and you're trying to get those tones, particularly in big areas of shading, you need to ensure the transition's quite smooth, so you don't want any patchy sections. So that's why I'm always gliding on and off the skin and kind of building back into the bits I've already done. You start to see how the shade's developing across there. You okay, mate?
Yeah.
Good lad. My customer's covering his face with his hat. Says it all. Going through mental battle under there, aren't you, mate?
Long day.
What you can see as well, guys, is I'm not always shading in the same direction. What I'm doing is I'm going in different directions to ensure that the shading blend is smooth. You can actually, if you listen, you can hear that needle, the way it's gliding along the skin. It's not really snagging or catching, I can just feel it almost scraping the skin quite gently. Again, you shouldn't really be ragging that needle against the skin. If you are sort of ramming that needle really firm against the skin, you're just going to cause a lot of damage. You can risk scarring the skin. So we almost want this centre bit to be really soft and subtle. So I've come right down my tones now. When you've got a mixture of pots, guys, there's kind of a process where you'll be dipping in between different pots. So sometimes you'll dip back into a darker pot when you're on a new section where it needs to connect. Becoming efficient at this isn't something that happens overnight. Obviously, I've shaded tattoos for years now. I've developed sort of my way of doing everything. We're still in the screen, yeah. Remember when I was saying before about directions, so I've come across there, built the shading, and now I'm feathering out this edge as well. Whenever I'm shading anywhere like this and I'm building up smooth sections, anytime my needle contacts the skin, it's already moving. I don't plant the needle down and then set off, because I'm going to leave a little edge where the needles first contacted the skin. So I'm starting the stroke before I even land on the skin and then slowly pushing it down. So it's kind of like I'm building my pressure up a little bit. You can see that them sections are starting to go now, and it's blending seamlessly. Be strong, my brother. We're going to be moving off this bit in a sec. Big one with this, guys, as you're developing yourself, anyone that watches this and they find shading quite difficult, be mindful of like loosening your grip on the tattoo machine. You don't need to squeeze it tight. I'm literally holding it like this, it could fall out my hands. I've got a very light grasp on it, and it just allows me to glide really smoothly. I've got a lot of manoeuvrability. I can change the angle of the machine as I need to. It's the same on the actual inside of the helmet now. I want to keep the tones quite light. There's quite a few dark sections on this tattoo where there's a lot of depth to it, so if you just whack the same shade across the whole tattoo, it's going to look quite flat. So you have to have the ability to study your design and make sure you're picking out the right tones. Again, it can be quite advanced stuff on complex pieces. So I'm just incorporating some angles there to feather this edge in. So see there, I'm gliding forward. So what I'm doing, I'm handrailing that edge, creating this shape. Again, I'm keeping it quite soft on the skin. I'm keeping the tones quite light. There's no harshness to it, it's quite gentle. And the skin that I'm working on is still really flat everywhere across the whole tattoo. There's no lumpiness to it. Because as I said, I've not overworked the skin when I was saying about pressure before. If you're ramming that needle dead aggressive on the skin, it's just going to swell right up. And it's just going to cause excess damage, which means it's going to struggle to heal as smooth and to retain all the ink. You are? It's dying. I'm not going to do much longer anyway. I'm going to be going back to doing these videos daily, guys, so whatever piece I'm on, I'll do a little talk on what I'm doing, just for those that are developing and they want to take tips from my style. They'll be really useful to sort of watch in and help you develop your skill set a little bit. Has it stayed focused well? Yeah. So I'll show you again, guys, on this section. Round here, there's going to be a shaded patch around this circle. Rather than trying to go on from the edge like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate the shade forward. Just like this. You'll see how effective this is and how accurate you can get it. So I've gone around that section and then I can start to build this bit. I think the key word as well is everything I'm doing and building up. There's no section what I'm just trying to ram in dead quick and sort of rush it. It's a little masterclass from you, boy. So then just round the outside of that, there's also the top sections are kind of building an edge above that as well. So these bits is where I can sort of come along here like this and then feather off forward from there. Just give it a little clean to show you. So along this side of the helmet there's actually some darker tones, so I've jumped back into my 50% wash. Just create this little spike that's on the other side. I know, we're going to bring it to a close shortly, just 2 minutes. And then from this bottom bit as well, just going to give this outside strip of the helmet also a darker section. Let's have a look so far. Hope them tips are helpful, guys. Give them a go.